let's talk about how to create a new program for maintenance calories as our goal. Now, maintenance calories is where we want to be for a large majority of our year when we're not dieting, when we're not in a surplus. An easy way to think about it is kind of like a save game checkpoint of a video game, or another thing I like to, or another analogy I like to use is when your car has a full tank of gas and it's perfectly filled up on oil. It's basically when your body feels best, you can work out best, and it's where you're more likely to be able to actually maintain weight loss or maintain any muscle we've put on, because we're allowing our body time to actually accept this as a part of who we are, right? Now, maintenance is also a good place to be at, because when we actually feel our best, when our body's performing our best, it's how we're actually able to develop sustainable habits. So often we spend all of our time just dieting and then we gain the weight right back, right? We diet, then we gain the weight right back. So let's talk about how to actually figure out what those calories should be for us. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to either go to dotfit.com or we're going to open our dotfit app. Either one is going to work perfectly fine. If you don't know your username or login, please make sure you reach out to your director of client services or your director of operations for your location, and they will make sure that as a part of Fit Body Bootcamp, you have access to that. Now, once you're logged in, if you've previously had a program created for you before, like mine here, your screen's going to look something similar to mine. Otherwise, yours is probably already asking you to pick your current goal. So that's what we're going to do first, is we're going to go to create a new program. Now, like I said, when we're talking about maintenance, that's where our goal is going to be this guy right here, improve your health and play span. Because realistically, we want to take the time to develop healthy habits, feed our body, and just let it perform optimally. So we're going to click this guy. We're going to click begin now. And now you're going to answer all of these questions about yourself to the best of your ability, right? So date of birth, gender, righty or lefty, smoker, time zone, bedtime and wake time, weight, body fat. Now, when we're in our maintenance phase, body fat isn't as important. So if for some reason you don't know it right now, that's where you can also select weight only. However, when we're in a cut or a surplus, that's where our body fat is going to be critical. But again, right now you can go weight only if you need to. And then lastly, your height. From there, we're going to click next. We're going to answer these questions about ourselves. Click next. Again, this is saying, has a doctor currently said you should not be working out, which is usually quite the opposite case. And then lastly, we're going to select how many times a week we are currently working out. Now, for my average member who's coming in between 3 and 5 days a week, I highly recommend selecting the second guy down. For somebody who's constantly on their feet, they do not sit down once for their job, or there's somebody who is working out consistently, so every single week, 5 to 6 days a week, you're going to fall into this middle guy more than likely. And then lastly, for my runners, joggers, weekend warriors, people who are doing multiple workouts per day, or they're training 7 days per week, that's where you're probably going to fall into I train multiple times per day, or I'm an endurance athlete, right? So again, that's somebody who is extremely, extremely active, not your average person, but I know there are a lot of Fit Body Bootcamp members who do choose to double. So if you are that person, you need to be making sure you're selecting one of those two bottom options. Lastly, it's going to say what diet do you follow, regular, vegan, or vegetarian, and then how many times per day do you consume calcium-rich foods. From there, we're going to click next. Lastly, it wants to know how long are we going to stay in this current phase. Now, currently, I'm going to be selecting 4 weeks because that's what I'm going to be doing for myself. But again, depending on where we're currently at, that's where you're going to select your timeline there. We're going to click next. All right, perfect. Now, when we go to our summary, we see that our calories have updated. So the next step from there is all we have to do is start tracking. If you need help on tracking or you'd like to learn more, please make sure you click on the Tracking Helps video so that way we can give you some helpful hints on how to track and how to be more effective with your logging.